Well, it sounds like we're in a shooting range, but we're not. We're actually using a powder actuated fastener. And if you look here, what you see are little like 22 shells in there. There's no bullet inside, but there is powder. Just cock the gun, load it with another nail, and you're ready to put the steel down on the ground. We're actually out framing a house out of steel. Steel framing has always been popular in commercial buildings, and it has a lot of benefits and is growing rapidly in residential. One, because lumber prices are going up, but two, some of the benefits like the steel studs are actually straight, which means you'll have a flat, smooth wall, something you really can't do with lumber. Plus, you never ever have a termite problem with the steel stud. But I've got a steel specialist with me today, Ed Horn. It's good to have you here, Ed.
Good to see you, Mike.
I know you build a lot of homes out of steel, and it's got a lot more benefits than I just mentioned. What are some of them?
Well, I think you mentioned some of the real primary ones which the consumers are interested in. The fact that you never have to worry about a termite bill. But again, you remember, steel doesn't burn. So as far as your insurance probably should be less in price. And the fact that these things don't move as far as humidity is concerned. So in the summertime, you're not going to have the doors closing shut and not being able to open them, or the windows and so forth. So you've got a lot of benefits in that regard.
Well, I know steel's becoming a lot more affordable now for residential homes. Why is that?
A couple of reasons. Number one, of course, the price of wood is going way up because the demand is going way up. And of course, the quality on wood's going down. So with steel, you've got a product that's man-made. It's controllable. So you get a product that's dimensionally stable. And so for that regard, you can keep the price basically the same. And the price of a piece of steel that's 2 foot long is the same as the price of steel for a 24 foot long.
The per square foot price doesn't change. The running.
So that makes a big difference because obviously when you're taking wood, you got to get a big tree to get a long piece of wood.
Yeah.
So that isn't true with steel.
Now behind you, you've got red iron instead of steel studs. What's that for?
Well, in any house, there are certain load demands that are placed on it by the design. And there are some times when you can't use light gauge steel. It's just not strong enough. So you have the capability here to integrate with red iron, and we use this here in this particular case, the ceiling area, because the span was too great and the shape was such that we could not use conventional light gauge steel.
I built about a dozen homes out of steel back about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was still kind of new for residential framers. And we had a lot of problems with tools and how to cut the steel and that type of thing, but I hear a lot of that's been resolved now. There's specialty tools for it.
Well, just as the technology in all areas have been increasing, the steel industry has been actively working towards improving the quality and the types of tools we have available. And we've just got a bunch of new tools out there that make the labor cost lower and make the cost overall of the house lower to produce.
Well, I want to see them. As a matter of fact, I actually want to try them.
Okay, we'll let you do that.
Well, Ed, it looks almost like an ordinary chop saw there.
Yes, it is an ordinary chop saw. This has an abrasive blade to it. There's a new kind out on the market now which has, it's actually a steel blade that runs at a slower RPM, takes away all the sparks, and all the fun out of it, you know?
Well, I want the sparks.
You want the sparks.
Well, let's cut a piece.
Okay, here you go.
And it makes a lot of noise. I like that too. It does a great job, but you can't carry this type of saw up onto a frame with you. It's going to be too heavy. You need your table.
Problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your other options?
We've got a lot of other options available. One of the nicest I like is it's called a nibbler.
A nibbler.
A nibbler, and this can do just about anything you want it to do. You can cut straight lines or curved lines.
So really anything you need, you can cut right up on the house itself.
Any shape, right, just about any size material. And we have shears and there are other tools out there, but this is one of the nicest we have up there.
Well, I like it. Let's go ahead and put this stud in a wall.
Okay.
Well, Ed, it looks like our wall's coming along nicely over here.
Definitely does. Paul does good work.
Okay, we've got our studs here. We've got a bottom plate just like a normal wood wall. We've got a top plate up there, so all we need to do is just attach it.
Put them together.
So we don't drive a nail down through the end.
No, take a simple screw. It's the Tech screw with a drilling point.
Okay. Screw it in on both sides?
Right.
All right, now how long is this house going to last?
Probably not more than 100, 150 years.
I think that'll be long enough.
Long for the mortgage, I give it, pay it off.
Many home builders are offering steel framing as an option on new homes. The cost of using steel is very competitive when compared to using wood, and in many areas it is already more cost-effective to use steel. As more homeowners choose steel framing for their new homes, the cost will continue to decrease.